Good morning. Speaking of strange jobs, I thought it'd be fun to have a Greek chorus help me tell the story today. So I invited the worship team to join me on stage. Worship team? Does anybody know what a Greek chorus is? Anybody? I guess not. It's a group of actors that sing or say something to help the audience follow the story. Feel free to join them as they're chorusing if you'd like. If you were here last week, you heard about a Jewish man named Nehemiah. Nehemiah's official job was cupbearer to King Artaxerxes. Though he lived far away from Jerusalem, he asked some travelers for an update on Jerusalem. He was told the wall around the city was broken and the gates burned. He was also told that the people living in the area were in trouble because the wall no longer offered protection. When Nehemiah heard all this, he saw the problem as his problem. He wept, he mourned, and fasted. Then he prayed.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. No, I need somebody help.
Okay, why did Nehemiah need God's help? Because he decided Jerusalem's problem was his problem. He prayed to prepare for a serious conversation with his boss, King Artaxerxes, about Jerusalem. Now the Bible tells us that when Nehemiah went before the king to deliver something to drink, the king immediately noticed a sadness in Nehemiah he had never seen before. Nehemiah here. Excuse me as I find my place. Help! Help, I need somebody. Okay, the king said, "Why does your face look so sad when you are ill? You are not ill. This can be nothing but sadness of heart." Now Nehemiah answered the king's question this way: "Why should my face not look sad when the city where my fathers are buried lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire?" The Bible reveals that King Artaxerxes then asked what Nehemiah wanted from him. At that point, Nehemiah prayed to the God of heaven.
Help! I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need somebody help.
Right, Nehemiah first asked for God's help, so he would then be brave enough to ask for help from King Artaxerxes. So what exactly did Nehemiah ask for? First, he asked for permission to go to Jerusalem. He said, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in his sight, let him send me to the city in Judah where my fathers are buried so that I can rebuild it." Fortunately, it pleased the king to allow Nehemiah to travel to Jerusalem, which made Nehemiah brave enough to ask for something else.
I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my life for you.
Nehemiah then asked for letters from the king. The letters were to keep Nehemiah safe as he traveled from Susa to Jerusalem. If anyone threatened his safety, he could show them he had the king's permission, which would guarantee his protection. After asking for that, he again gathered his courage and asked for something else.
Give a little bit.
I'll give a little bit of my life for you.
This time he asked for construction materials. Specifically, he asked for timber. He needed to rebuild the wall's gates. The king not only granted Nehemiah's request for letters of protection and construction materials, but he also provided army officers and cavalry to travel with Nehemiah. Why was Nehemiah asking for help? Because he knew when there's a job to be done, don't wait for someone else to do it. So what happened next? The Bible tells us that Nehemiah traveled to Jerusalem and stayed 3 days. One night he secretly took a few men with him to examine the walls and gates. Why did he do this in secret? Because he had not yet told anyone what he planned to do. His inspection revealed exactly what he had originally been told. The wall was indeed broken down and the gates were burned. Then he gathered everyone together and said,
Build up brick, wall, build long and really strong.
Okay, well that's sort of what he said. Okay. Here's how the speech is recorded in Nehemiah chapter 2. Then I said to them, You see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been burned with fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace. I also told them about the gracious hand of my God upon me and what the king had said to me. How did the people, those who would be doing the work, respond to Nehemiah's announcement?
Build a bridge. Build long and big strong.
Yeah, they said, let us start rebuilding. Nehemiah's can see it, can do it enthusiasm for the project was contagious, plus they heard God was involved. Obviously the people understood what Nehemiah understood, that when there's a job to be done, don't wait for someone else to do it. So let's say you're in the restroom at the library. Water's splashed from the sink, making a puddle on the floor. What should you do? Should you wait for someone else to take action, or should you take action on your own? When there's a job to be done, don't wait for someone else to do it. Grab some paper towels and wipe up the water. Why? It goes back to can see it, can do it. Cleaning up the water may prevent the next person who walks into the restroom from slipping in the water and conking their head on the sink after their feet fly out from under them. You do it because you saw a problem and you decided to do something about it. You do it because you're no longer a self-absorbed 5-year-old. Instead, you're a maturing, responsible person heading to middle school soon. You do it because you are a God follower who takes initiative and solves problems. Let's say you've noticed the fence that runs beside your house has gotten extremely weathered, with more paint peeling from it every day. What's the wise choice here? The wise choice is to see what others don't see and do something about it. When there's a job to be done, don't wait for someone else to do it. Talk to your neighbor and volunteer to paint the fence. Your neighbor will look at you through new eyes, no longer seeing you as the kid who broke his window a few summers back with a wild pitch. You'll be showing initiative, serving your neighbors with love. It's a win-win situation for everyone. When Nehemiah faced a problem, he spent lots of time talking to God about it. Let's close our time together today with Nehemiah's good habit, prayer. God, Nehemiah was a man of action. He didn't step back hoping others would fix the problem. Instead, he prayed, asked for help from others, and then took action. Help each of us to have that kind of initiative in order to bring you glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, been talking about initiatives, my guys. Our goal is to become not just hearers, but seers and doers who are really ready to get up and use our hands and feet. So get up, guys. You know this song? Been doing it all month. I want to see you guys moving around here with hands and feet. Are you awake? Can you join this morning? We get together.
My TV screen, another broken heart comes into view. I saw the pain and then I turned my back. Why can't I do the things I want to do? I'm willing and so afraid. Give me strength when I say